The automotive world is currently in a state of absolute shock because Honda just pulled the covers off a nameplate we thought was dead forever. For years, the legend was that quiet, sophisticated sedan hiding in the corner of the showroom. But for 2026 and 2027, Honda has completely nuked that legacy to launch something that threatens to dethrone the entire luxury SUV segment. This is no longer a soft, executive hauler. It is a tactical, high-performance SUV that looks like it was designed to survive an apocalypse while keeping its occupants in absolute five-star comfort. You might think you know what to expect from a Honda SUV, but you are wrong, because the sheer amount of proprietary technology packed into this frame is making German competitors panic in their boardrooms. I am talking about an advanced drivetrain setup that defies physics, an interior that makes high-end European rivals feel like bargain bin economy cars, and a price point that shouldn't legally exist for what you are actually getting. However, there is one massive secret about this vehicle, a hidden performance flaw buried deep within its chassis engineering that Honda is desperately trying to distract you from with all these shiny screens and leather stitching. I am going to break down exactly what that flaw is and why it could potentially ruin the entire driving experience. But you need to stick with me until the very end, because you will not find this information anywhere else on the internet. When you first lay eyes on the new legend, it feels less like a car and more like a statement of intent. The designers have clearly abandoned the soft, rounded lines of previous generations for a sharp, aggressive aesthetic that screams road presence. The front fascia is dominated by a massive, sculpted grille that feeds cooling air into a hybrid powertrain so sophisticated that it makes traditional internal combustion look like Stone Age technology. Honda is moving toward a future where efficiency does not mean compromising on adrenaline, and this engine configuration is the proof. Imagine hitting a pedal and feeling an instantaneous, unrelenting surge of torque that pins you into your seat, all while maintaining the kind of fuel economy that usually comes with a boring hybrid. It is an engineering contradiction, yet somehow they have pulled it off. This balance of power and restraint is exactly why you should hit that subscribe button and tap the like icon right now, because we are going to be tracking every single performance update on this platform as it hits the global market throughout this year. You do not want to miss the upcoming deep dives where we put these bold claims to the actual test against the toughest road conditions. The interior is where the narrative shifts from performance to pure opulence. Step inside, and you are greeted by an expansive glass cockpit that prioritizes intuitive control over unnecessary clutter. The materials are top-tier, sourced with a level of sustainability that doesn't feel like a compromise, but rather a step into the future of luxury. Every button, every dial, and every stitch is positioned to make the driver feel like a pilot. It is quiet, it is serene, and it is undeniably fast. Honda has spent billions ensuring that the cabin remains isolated from the chaotic reality of the outside world, creating a sanctuary that feels significantly more expensive than the sticker price would suggest. But this is exactly where the illusion starts to crack. While everything looks pristine on the surface, there is a technical concern that keeps engineers up at night. During our initial deep dive analysis, it became clear that the integration between the adaptive suspension system and the vehicle's proprietary steering software creates a very specific, intermittent delay during high-speed maneuvering. This brings us back to that hidden flaw I mentioned at the start. While the media will rave about the looks, the interior, and the badge, they are ignoring the fact that the Legend's weight distribution, when pushed to the absolute limit in wet weather, creates a twitchy rear end bias that feels completely out of character for a family-focused SUV. It is not a deal breaker for a grocery run, but for the enthusiast hoping to take this machine through tight canyon roads. It is a glaring oversight that Honda is hoping you will ignore. They have masked it with aggressive traction control systems, but once you peel back those digital layers, the chassis behavior remains fundamentally unsettled in specific high-load scenarios. They have built an incredible vehicle that is almost perfect in every way. But that one lingering engineering quirk is the silent ghost in the machine. It is a reminder that even when you reach for automotive perfection, Physics always finds a way to remind you who is really in charge. Whether this becomes a legendary success or a cautionary tale of over-engineering remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, you will be looking at this SUV in a completely different light the next time you see one passing you on the highway.